sprinkles, Santa Claus's special elf. Because everything is special with sprinkles. Santa Claus knows you're special too, and he has something to say to you. So listen close as Santa Claus shares holiday cheer with you. You can leave a special message for Santa Claus and get on the nice list at www.SantaClausSays.net. Now here is the big man himself, Santa Claus!
Ho, 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 ho! Ho, 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 Merry Christmas! Santa Claus says, you better be good for goodness sakes. And we welcome all the boys and girls and moms and dads and children of all ages to Santa Claus Says, the show where we read a wonderful Christmas story, we hear letters to Santa, and where we spread Christmas cheer. You can find everything you need about Santa Claus Says at SantaClausSays.net. That is where I, Santa Claus, listen to you, because that's the place where you can send me your voice message, where you could send me a text message, and where you could send me an email, which tells me where you can share with me what's on your mind, and I listen to you, and I will respond to you. And when you go there, and when you leave me your email, or when you leave me a message there, I can respond to you. If you go to SantaClausSays.net/present, I will send you your very own Christmas present. That's also the place where you can find out more about how I can send to you a personalized, with your name, Christmas video, or a personalized Christmas video chat, a Zoom call that we can do together. You can check with your moms and dads about that, how to do that, but you just go to everything you need to know is at SantaClausSays.net. Here we are to spread some Christmas cheer and to tell a wonderful Christmas story. The Glockenspiel, which Sprinkles shares with us from once in a while, it means it's time for our storytelling time. We use a book, which some of you are familiar with. We've been telling the story called The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by an author by the name of L. Frank Baum. And he is also the author of a book called The Wizard of Oz, and many of you have seen that movie called The Wizard of Oz, and you're interested in this story. So every day during the Christmas season, all the way up through Christmas, we're sharing this story. And it's brought to us by the folks at the Gutenberg Project, and we are thankful for those folks for helping us to have this story. So we've been talking about the story, The Adventures of Santa Claus, and now we're up to chapter 3 of the story, and this part of the story is called The Adoption. So if you want to hear the other parts of the story, you can go back to episodes 1 and 2 of season 2 of Santa Claus Says, and you can hear those on YouTube and Facebook and on our website, SantaClausSays.net. But right now, let's talk about chapter 3, The Adoption. Let's begin. The master woodsman suddenly rose with knitted brows. There is a strange presence in the forest, he said. Then the queen and her nymphs turned and saw standing before them Necile, with the sleeping infant clasped tightly in her arms, and a defiant look in her deep blue eyes. And thus for a moment they remained, the nymphs filled with surprise and consternation, but the brow of the master woodsman gradually clearing as he gazed intently upon the beautiful immortal who had willfully broken the law. Then the great Ak, to the wonder of all, laid his hand softly on Necile's flowing locks and kissed her on her fair forehead. For the first time within my knowledge, she said gently, a nymph has defied me and my laws. Yet in my heart I can find no word of chiding. What is your desire, Necile? Let me keep the child, she answered, beginning to tremble and falling on her knees in supplication. Here in the forest of Burzee, where the human race has never yet penetrated? Questioned Ak. Here in the forest of Burzee, replied the nymph boldly. It is my home, and I am weary for lack of occupation. Let me care for the babe. See how weak and helpless he is? Surely it can be of no harm, Burzee nor the master woodsman of the world. But the law, child, the law, cried Ak sternly. The law is made by the master woodsman, returned Necile. If he bids me care for the babe he himself has saved from death, who in all the world would dare oppose me? Queen Zerline, who had listened intently to this conversation, clapped her pretty hands gleefully at the nymph's answer. You are fairly trapped, O Ak, she exclaimed, laughing. Now I pray you, give heed to Necile's petition. The woodsman, as was his habit, when in thought, stroked his grizzled beard slowly. Then he said, She shall keep the babe, and I will give it my protection. But I warn you, all that is as this is the first time that I have relaxed the law. So it shall be the last time. Nevermore to the end of the world shall a mortal be adopted by an immortal. Otherwise would we abandon our happy existence for one of trouble and anxiety. Good night, my nymphs. Then Ak was gone from their midst, and Necile hurried away to her bower to rejoice over her new-found treasure. That's the end of Chapter 3 of The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum. I invite you to tune in again next time here on SantaClausSays.net when we'll continue our story with Chapter 4, and the title of Chapter 4 is Claus. I wonder what that could be all about. There's our Glockenspiel, which Sprinkles is playing for us. That means that it is time for our letter to Santa. Now, a reminder that you can always reach out to me, Santa Claus, at SantaClausSays.net. And that's exactly where you can send a letter to me. You can send a letter in the form of an email. And if you send me an email, if you send it to SantaClausSays.net/present, I will send you a present through email. But you can also leave me a voicemail or a text, and I will get the text on my cell phone. I have a purple cell phone, and I invite you to send it to me. And therefore, and many of you will have the opportunity to have your letter read by me right here on our show, SantaClausSays.net. So here's our letter for today. Dear Santa Claus, did you live when the dinosaurs lived? What a question. And she goes on to say, I want a GG dog, and I want a Barbie house and a puppy. Love, Jesse. Did I live when the dinosaurs lived? I am among those who have been around forever and will be around forever. And I'm here to speak into your life. And so I love you and I love to hear from you. So please send me your email, send me your text, and send me your voicemail here at SantaClausSays.net. Well, that's the Glockenspiel, which says it's about time for us to close this episode of SantaClausSays.net. A reminder, our show is every day during the Christmas season. From now through Christmas Day, you can hear the story that we read, the story about the life and adventures of Santa Claus. You can hear a beautiful story or letter or voicemail to Santa, and we will spread Christmas cheer in every way we can, because Christmas is a wonderful time of year. And remember that Santa Claus says, be good for goodness sakes. We love you, and we will see you again next time here on Santa Claus Says. Ho, 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 ho.
You're special to Santa Claus, just like Sprinkles. Get on Santa's nice list at SantaClausSays.net and watch Santa Claus Says on YouTube. Tell him Sprinkles